Hello, welcome back to our 3D Code Academy. In the previous lesson, we worked on shaping and refining the eyebrows. Now it's time to focus on another small but powerful detail that adds realism to any character: the eyelashes. Eyelashes may look simple, but when done correctly, they add depth, softness, and life to the eyes. In this tutorial, I'll guide you step by step how to create a natural and realistic eyelashes in a blender. By the end of this lesson, your character will look more polished and closer to the production quality. So let's jump right in. So let's begin by selecting the head mesh. I press N to close the tab, and I go to the area, and let's go select the area where we want to put the eyelashes. So I'll go to the edge loop, and I'll click the selection of, and the second click. So let's go for the solid. I select this, and I press Ctrl, select the whole loop, and let's duplicate this one. I press Shift D, and we press P for separation. So we have this another object selection. So let's call this eyelash. After selecting this, we'll go to the edit mode. I want to have more controls of the eyelashes, so I can press Alt and select this loop. I can press Ctrl R and then scroll the wheel, so to add more edges like that. And I want to select the eyelash to this loop, so I'll select this loop there, and I change to the press group there. I want to select this corner, and I press V, and this I want to for this edge corner or this one, and I press V. So now I can come and select, press L for this top. I want to select this, and I press P, so it can be another separated object, this one. So I can name this as a top eyelash. Let's go to the top eyelash, this one. I can come to, let's delete all the details of that, even the material. We don't want the material. And I can go for this and go to the modifier mirror, so we can have a mirror. So we have another eyelash there for other side, and I can say this is our object to select mirrored form, and I apply it. So I will go back to this eyelashes, this one. So I can delete all details concerning it, and Ctrl Z, and I do as we did there by adding the mirror modifier. Select this one, and I can apply this, and I can name this lower eyelash. So that's it. So now we can go to the top eyelashes there, go for the edit mode. You see what we selected there, and I can have go back to the object mode, and I press Shift A. Firstly, three things need to work on UV wrapper. The system we want to generate the hair works only with when you're having UVs. So we need to make sure that we have any UVs So I'll change this from asset browser and go to the UV area. So I can select all these eyes there, and I can go for the UVs and say UV unwrapped files. So after doing this, let's save those. Save as a UVs eyelash and drop. So we save it. Now we are good to go. And I can go to the object mode and I press Shift A and add an empty hair. So now we can shut down our head mesh. So now here I can start with the top eyelashes there. So we'll start with these top eyelashes and I press Shift A, go to the empty mesh there, and we go to the sculpt mode. So we'll start adding the hair. So I'll come here and I make sure that the length is okay and the points, I think that's good, and start to create the eyelashes. And I will try to make a seamless mode on. I press X and I press N to close the tab, and I'll go to this add and we go for the curve shapes and try to, I think that's the amount of the length, the points is okay, everything's okay now there. We can go and try to add this. So don't worry about the shape, because we put to the strip instead of strand. So we put on strip and try to see through it. So we start by brushing, by combing this. So I'll comb something like that. I need to make sure that I combed well, so we can try to see even for the top view how it's look in a 3D direction. So I will keep adding. So we need to go to the adding material, adding head. So I'll keep adding, and then we will come to comb it and fixing. So now let's comb it. I want this to be more like that. Okay, maybe that's fine. And what I can do there, I can go to the grow and shrink. So for this first here, we don't want to have it maybe there. And for this here, we need to extend this. I think the eyelashes look like this, more like this. And I can shrink a bit there. So something of that kind. I think that's good. And let's try go and see how it's look when we did the interpolation. So I'll come here and try to change to the asset browser, and we need to shape the size of this. So we go to the set hair curve profile. So we put it like this. Maybe I think that's good enough. And let's add another interpolation. So we go for the interpolation. So we interpolated this one. So let's go to the modifier, interpolation modifier. So we need to select the surface. We need to select these top eyelashes. So And for the density, let's try to create to 100k. See how slow. That's too many. So for the mask texture, we need to mask the area we wanted to put the density mask. So maybe I can come here to the object mode and I go to the top eyelashes there and try to create the area we want to control these eyelashes. And I want to use now another method. So let's hide the hair we created. I want to select this line, down line, as our controller for eyelashes. So I will select this edge loop and I press add selection, this one, and then go to the vertex group there and add, say, this one, and I call it eyelashes selected. And I say assign it. So it is in weight in 1. So when I go to the weight painting, we're gonna see that we have selected this one there. So now when I go to the object mode, when I go to this one, we have created the curves, this one, and I can change there from this one to go to this density mask. I select density mask and I name that name we created the vertex group. So we go to the vertex group, with vertex group there, select this, go to the vertex group, to the edit mode, and go to the vertex group. You selected this name, we copy by Ctrl+C, and I go to the object mode and I go to this hair curves we created to the sculpt mode. Go to the sculpt mode, we go to the modifier and go to the paste. You paste that name there down. So you see that's we paste there, and we increase the density here, maybe 1000k. You see, this is what we needed there. Okay, now maybe we can have a new material for this thing called hair BSDF. So we're gonna have a hair BSDF material. Now maybe I can go and try to have a hair profile. Haircut profile. So maybe we can decrease a bit. Maybe we put 0.03, something of this. Maybe you can go there and add more interpolation. No, that's too big. Let's delete this and put a 500, something of that. We can go there and try to add a clamping. So we can drop the clamping, and for this we say we need to change this to this one, and I can try to play with it with tip spread, something of this, right? So now we need to have to apply to this side also. How are we gonna do this? We need to rename also for this. Let's go back to this object mode selection and I go to the edit mode. You see I was only selected this one. I can even also press shift and artist. I selected this also, and I go to this vertex group and I say assign it. So you see that we have both eyelashes created. So you can see this one for the top. Now I can hide this one and allow our head mesh, that's one here, you see, and I can allow the eyebrows where eyebrows. Okay, see, that's we're in symmetry. So I'll start adding. I think maybe there is some angle we are not seeing, but we don't care that much. I think there is overlapping. So let's go to the edit mode there. We select this one. Let's go to the edit mode. Seems there's like an overlapping. So maybe let's select this. This fits here. Maybe I can move it a bit so that's not overlapping. I can move a bit there. Even this one, move on top of this. Even this one. Okay, back to this system now. We go to the lower eyelashes and try to sculpt. So we see that we have a this overlap. So we go back to the lower eyelashes. Remember that the hair system on this one needs to have a clean UVs. So we go change this, and now I go to the edit mode and select all those, and I press UVs and wrap it. So you see, now I think we're gonna have a nice working. So we go back to the selection, this one, and I select the image and save as the lower eyelashes and wrap. So you need to save every image you created, every text you created. And now I can go to the lower eyelashes now, go to the sculpt mode and continue to add it. I think we'll solve the problem now. So let's make it large. You see? Now it's solved the problem. Okay. Okay, let's comb those hair. I think there is something wrong. They are not good. But okay, in order to put a type of difference here, I need to make one thing here. Let's go to the comb and try to make this come together closely. You're gonna see how it's look when we create something like this. Let's make come close like this one. Okay, and this one, let's make them look closely. So we'll come to this lower side there and try to make sure that's it's not look like downward. And for that one, we go back to the asset browser and let's try to give the we need to make sure that's something of this. So let's add the interpolation here, something of this. We need to make sure that we select the object mesh, and let's add the density. Let's make them like 200k. Make sure that the lower eyelashes has a lower numbers of the hair particle system, because the top eyelashes always have much numbers of eyelashes, and the lower ones have a low ones and a very little length. So maybe we can come here and try to go to the object mode and I select the lower eyelashes and try to create the vertex group that can control the numbers of the eyelashes. So I go to the edit mode, and let's make sure that you are for the lower eyelashes, you uncheck it, and I can select this one. I want to start put, because of the intersection, maybe I can select this one. This one I can press shift and I select this one there, and I can go to the vertex group. Let's start the one there. Let's control the whole body, and the second I select assign and I go to the weight paint. So you can see that's the area we want to have the eyelashes, are those ones. So I can go back there, back here, and rename those lower eyelashes, and make sure that you select that, you copy those vertex group. We're gonna need it later. So I go back to our object mode and I go to the lower eyelashes and turn on this one, and I go to the modifier. For this texture mask we are not using, we are going to the density. I select the density here, and I will copy and paste these eyelashes. You see now we have these ones. So now maybe I can go for the hair radius and I can change it to a 0.001. We need the little ones here, and I can go for the growing. Maybe for the clamping, we go for the clamping also. We need to add the clamping of this one, so we need to change the factor. You see, maybe this one, and I go for the shaping. Try to find the shape you need, and for the tip speed, maybe this one, like this one, and I can go maybe for the sculpting and try to lower it. So we can go for the shrinking, and I can press shift to lower it a bit to make so huge there. So you see that we created the lower eyelashes. So we can turn on this one, and for the sculpt I can continue lower it, and maybe I can try to clamp it, to clamp it. So I need to clamp something like this one, and I can reduce the number. Maybe I can put it to a 1, something of this. Maybe I can go to this one, and I can switch off this one, and I can make a material, and I can change this material to hair STF. So we need to have a lower numbers of this. So maybe I can select this one. For you can take much time and try to fix the problem we're having. Me, for the sake of tutorial, I need to make that everything shorter and then understandable, so I can make it fast so that you can see what we need to accomplish for the sake of the time. And make that see. I think that for the let's just see a little once. Maybe we need to increase number to 3. Okay. Okay, so nice. So we can go to our texture, our renderings, to the cycles, and change from this super to the end. You can see this end. So we change from the sculpt to go to the object mode. So you see that's what we've accomplished here. Okay, let's end for today. In the coming days, we are going to tackle how to create the hair. Since now you have know that how to create the eyebrows and eyelashes, it will be simple to create the hair system for the head. I think that will be very simple to you. Till next time, it's 3D Code Academy. Don't forget to subscribe and give a like and comment so we can grow together for our community. So next time, ciao.